4 new countries joined Brics. Now the Brics network is gradually expanding. Just like at last year's summit in South Africa, this time too there are several countries hoping to join the group. In Johannesburg, Ethiopia, United Arab Emirates, Iran, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia were admitted as new members. This year, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Malaysia, which have submitted their formal applications for membership in recent weeks, could join. But the line of aspiring countries or those sought after by current members is long. There is great interest from Thailand to join, there is pressure from China for Kazakhstan to do so, and Algeria's membership is expected, which was supposed to happen last year but was blocked by a veto from India. All the countries that have applied for membership have significant geopolitical weight. Turkey and Azerbaijan are involved in the political changes affecting Europe and Asia, while Malaysia is a member of ASEAN, an organization that in recent years has carved out an exceptional economic role in a context like the Indo-Pacific, where the giants are India and China. According to analysts, Turkey's application for membership is linked to its chances of joining the European Union, a process in which negotiations have been stalled for about 6 years. This reading is confirmed by the statements of the Turkish Foreign Minister, Hakan Fidan, made on Thursday, September 19th, during a broadcast by the Turkish agency Anadolu. If our economic integration with the European Union had been crowned with an accession superior to that of the customs union, perhaps we would not be in this kind of search in relation to many issues, Fidan said. As for Azerbaijan, joining the Brics would mean the definitive recognition of its new status as a middle power internationally, as it would occur in the same year that Baku hosts the COP29 on the environment. So it will also be able to influence the global agenda in the fight against climate change, despite being an oil-producing country. Finally, Malaysia hopes to join the bloc to act with greater freedom in its trade relations. As noted on the website of The Diplomat magazine, Malaysia would use the membership to maintain not too unbalanced political relations with its trading partners in order to ensure a fair distance with everyone, as well as to present itself as a bridge between this organization and ASEAN. New members mean new international weight for the organization. But such an accelerated expansion in the number of members also raises doubts about the real benefits its members hope to obtain. First, there is the problem of the procedures for accepting a new candidate. As seen in the case of Algeria last year, the weight of individual states in the final decisions remains enormous, and there are no well-defined admission criteria. Suffice it to say that Malaysia's application letter was submitted to Russia and not to a special body, a sign that the decision is heavily influenced by the interests and assessments of the country organizing the summit that year. To confirm this hypothesis, it is enough to look at the announcement made by China last July about Kazakhstan's accession. Beijing has obviously done so because it has more interest in integrating Kazakhstan into the organization than the other members. This year, the acceptance of Turkey's candidacy and Azerbaijan is very convenient for Russia due to the various issues in which it is involved in Europe and the Caucasus, and Malaysia's acceptance must be seen from the perspective of the enlargement in a dialectical key with respect to the Western Front. An enlargement too conditioned by the specific interests of the country organizing the summit carries the risk of unbalancing membership in the Union in certain geographical contexts, in clear contrast to the diffuse and balanced enlargement that was clearly one of the criteria for selection last year. This year, it is Eurasia that is at the center of the process, while the Indo-Pacific plays a marginal role, leaving aside Africa, the Middle East, and South America. This would imply the need for a readjustment next year towards these contexts, with the uncertainty that the contingent relations between the different candidates and the member states end up slowing down or blocking the process. These dynamics affect the enlargement process, but they also call into question the very nature of the organization. What should Brics be? An alternative to Western organizations, or just a strengthened economic platform? An answer to this question seems to come from the solution applied with Algeria after the rejection it received last year. It joined the new development bank, the Brics banking institution, which also includes a South American country that does not want to join the bloc, like Uruguay. Applying this partial or reduced membership solution to other countries in the future would weaken the idea of Brics as an alternative front to the West and its importance internationally. As we look into the future of Brics, one of the most significant and ambitious goals of the member countries is to challenge the global dominance of the US dollar. This goal is not just an economic strategy but a geopolitical maneuver that could reshape international finance. Gap 2S, the Brics nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are working collectively to reduce their dependence on the US dollar in trade and financial transactions. This move is driven by a desire for greater economic sovereignty and to mitigate the impact of US sanctions on their economies. China, with its rapidly growing economy, has been at the forefront, promoting the use of the yuan in international trade. Russia, facing economic sanctions, is equally motivated to find alternatives to the dollar. India, Brazil, and South Africa see diversifying their foreign reserves as a way to stabilize their economies against global financial fluctuations. The new development bank, established by the Brics, is a key institution in this strategy. Its goal is to provide financing in local currencies, reducing dependence on the dollar. This initiative is seen as a step towards creating a multipolar world where no single currency holds overwhelming power. The push against dollar hegemony is not without its challenges. The US dollar remains deeply entrenched in global finance, and the transition away from it requires time, coordination, and significant economic shifts. However, the determination of the Brics countries signals a transformative era in international economics. As the Brics continue to expand and strengthen their economic ties, the goal of lessening the dollar's dominance remains a central theme. This ambition reflects a broader aspiration for a more balanced and equitable global financial system where power is not concentrated in the hands of a few, but is distributed more evenly among nations. The road to this goal will be long and complex, but the unwavering resolve of the Brics countries demonstrates their commitment to redefining the global economic landscape. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the evolving dynamics of Brics and its impact on the world stage.